All right, so good morning, everyone. Once again, we are in week 12 and we'll be starting our first session on transnational crimes in PNG. And our first three groups will be presenting this morning, represented by Deborah, Janice, and Naomi. But before we hand over the virtual microphone to Deborah to kickstart the presentations for this week or for this session, let me just point out a few reminders. Firstly, this unit is a fully online unit. It's offered fully online, so there's no face-to-face contact or no face-to-face interaction between you and myself as the unit facilitator. So just a reminder, so all of you are clear on the nature or mode of the unit there. And it came about because of COVID-19 and the need to move into offering units and programs online. If you have been following what has been happening, we started using Moodle before all other universities, but now Unitech has overtaken us, and Unitech is now offering programs fully online. So that's, for me, I see that as a defeat to DivANOD. We've been championing Moodle and online learning for quite a while, and we've not moved into that space where we're offering programs fully online. So that's something that we need to do, and I hope this unit and the next unit next semester, or the other unit next semester, PNG Foreign Policy, which will be offered fully online as well. Both units will help the university, the department, and the faculty as well in terms of online learning and offering programs fully online. Okay, that's one reminder. The other reminder is to check your individual tallies. I'm nearly done with the final session on climate change and the session on cybercrime or cybersecurity is already the marks already in your grade book. So make sure you check and see and confirm, go through your tally and check if I have given you extra strokes or extra numbers and you feel that it's not right because you're big on ethics, then let me know so I can remove some of that. I overcounted your comments and questions. And if I miscount, then please check and then let me know so I can make changes to my tally and marks. All right, that's all tupla reminder. So with that, I'll stop here and I'll hand over the virtual microphone to Ms. Kuradal. Deborah and Group 1, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Yagiora. Good morning, everyone. 1 second. As you all know, I will represent Group 1, presenting on the question, what factors contribute to PNG's criminality score of 5.44 as reported in the Global Organized Crime Index 2021? Before I present our findings, I would like to define some key terms in that question. Firstly, let us understand what Global Organized Crime Index is. Global Organized Crime Index is the result of a 2-year evaluation of organized crimes in all 139 United Member States according to global initiatives. The Global Organized Crime Index 2021 defines organized crime as illegal activities conducted by groups or networks acting in concert by engaging in violence, corruption, or related activities in order to obtain directly or indirectly a financial or material benefit. Whereas Oxford Dictionary defined organized crime as planned and controlled criminal activities by powerful groups that are carried out in large scale. Now, in order to understand the findings on the question posed, may I enlighten you on how the question relates to the topic transnational crime. According to J. Albanese 2009 on the Oxford Bibliographies, Transnational crime are violations of law that involves more than one country in their planning, execution, or impact. These transnational crimes can be categorized into three groups. One, illicit services, meaning there is an attempt to satisfy public demands illegally, such as commercial sex and human trafficking. Second, illicit goods. There is a high demand for goods and products that cannot be obtained legally. This includes drug trafficking, trafficking stolen property, weapons trafficking, and counterfeiting. Thirdly, infiltration of business and government. That includes fraud, racketeering, money laundering, and corruption. Like organized crime, transnational crime involves criminal organized networks and criminal activities that occurs across national borders. So we may ask, how does Global Organized Crime Index knows about transnational and or organized crimes? The GOCI, for Global Organized Crime Index, collects data from various sources, including law enforcement agencies, international organizations, academic studies, and media reports. This data is then measured by three key elements that are used to assign each country a criminality score using a scale of 1 to 10, and they are, firstly, the scope, scale, and impact of specific criminal markets. Second, the structure and influence of 5 criminal actor types. And thirdly, the existence and capacity of countries to be resilient to organized crime. Overall, it evaluates a country's criminality performance by examining various factors related to organized crime. Therefore, we could say that PNG's criminality score of 5.44 was attributed to a combination of various factors that was used to assess the criminality rating. According to Global Organized Crime Index 2021, stated, and I quote, Papua New Guinea was found to have several pervasive markets, including flora crime, or in other words, wildlife crime, human trafficking, arms trafficking, non-renewable resource crimes, cannabis, and cocaine. Apart from Global Organized Crime Index 2021 journal, an article published by the National Research Institute titled Transnational Crime on the Rise in Papua New Guinea stated that transnational crimes like human trafficking, wildlife trafficking, firearms smuggling, drug smuggling, artifact smuggling, and maritime piracy are increasing in the country, placing PNG on the Global Crime Index. Thank you very much. I hope I answered the question.
Thank you, Deborah and Group 1 for a really interesting answer. So if you have any questions or comments for Deborah and Group 1, you can ask them in relation to the criminality score is 5.44. Is it high? Is it low? And other details, if you want to find out more, you can ask them this week in our forum, discussion forum. Let's listen to our next presenter. We'll be talking about cocaine in Oceania. Janice, please go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I will be representing Group 2, and our question reads, what factors do you believe contribute to PNG's high score of cocaine in Oceania, as indicated by Global Organized Crime Index 2021? The Global Organized Crime Index reported that by global comparisons, the level of organized crime in Australasia and Pacific Island countries might be lower compared to other parts of the world, but the impacts of organized crime on the economy, politics, and society is significant. However, there are some significant issues that still exist. As mentioned by Global Organized Crime Index, a number of illegal economies are growing in the region. For example, PNG recorded a drug bust of 500 kilograms of cocaine in the year 2020. Overall, the statement emphasized the global organized crime index emphasized by the Global Organized Crime Index shows a clear picture that Australia and Pacific Island countries region may not face and have experienced severe organized crime activities like other countries, regions, or continents, but still faces challenges and impacts of such activities. So there are few factors we believe might contribute to PNG's high score of cocaine in Oceania. However, we listed only three. The first one is geographical location. So PNG's location makes it attractive for drugs, cocaine trafficking. According to Interpol, PNG sits on maritime and air crossroads between Asia and South Pacific. And this geographical location and the fact that it is so close to Australia makes PNG attractive to local, regional, and global organized crime groups. The second one is weak law enforcement and government. As we all know, PNG faces a lot of security challenges due to corrupt governance and weak law and order enforcement in the countries. And this might create opportunities for organized crimes. According to Global Organized Crime Index 2023, the lack of resources and security measures in PNG makes it an attractive country for smugglers to move illegal substances. The third one is weak border control. A limited resource for border control and surveillance may allow organized crime groups to move easily. Virgin and Bateman 2018 reported that PNG has three main borders with Australia, Indonesia, and Solomon Islands. All these three have security problems. The border with Australia and Solomon Islands are cross water, and long land border with Indonesia is vulnerable to illegal movements by sea at its northern and southern ends. To conclude, the Global Organized Crime Index indicated that Australia and Pacific Island countries do not face a lot of organized crime problems like some other countries in parts of the world. However, due to some factors like weak border control, PNG geographical location, and weak law enforcement and government, these factors can help create opportunities for organized crime groups to move easily across borders, smuggling illegal goods and substances. Thank you. That's all from us.
Okay, thank you, Janice, and thank you, Kathleen, for the use of your computer. Any of you tried cocaine already? They said, I don't know, but they said it's a good drug. It will give you confidence and help you to be really confident in what you're saying and how you present yourself. But yeah, maybe we should try it one day. Put it on your bucket list. Yeah, but the Budi Island case is a very interesting case. If you read in the newspaper, I did a case study on that, and I read about what happened on the island and how this big, I think two big duffel bags full of cocaine was dumped on the island, and the island is uninhabited. So a lone fisherman found the bags, and then when he opened the bags, he saw the big parcel of cocaine inside, and then he took it to the nearest police station in one of the small islands. So this area in between Solomon Islands, Alatau, it's a drug trade or drug route for drug smugglers from China transporting their cocaine and other substances down. Yep. So there's weak border security and weak monitoring of our ocean. So it's easy for the drug dealers or smugglers from various syndicates to move the drugs to and fro. Okay, let's move on to our final presenter for this period, Ms. Dubabagi.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Yagira and everyone. I will be presenting on behalf of Group 3. Our question is, what factors lead to PNG being classified as the least resilient country in Oceania according to the Global Organized Crime Index 2021? So according to the Globalized Crime Index 2021, PNG was ranked the least resilient country in terms of crime, and experts have identified the biggest reason to why this is so. which is the lack of effective victim and witness support mechanisms. It is clear that PNG has become a nation that harbors criminals, either for personal gain or just for protection, which has led to a rise in the nation's crime rate. Jackson's 2021 claims that Papua New Guineans have a reputation for being adept at hiding criminals, and this is clearly exemplified by the life of PNG's most notorious and wanted criminal, late Tommy Baker, who, despite being heavily involved in criminal activities, he was always shielded from the police or law enforcers by his friends and families, which served to drive up criminal rates and crime rates within Milne Bay province and Papua New Guinea as a whole from 2013 to 2021. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime reports that victims and witnesses are reluctant to provide information and evidence because of perceived or actual intimidation or threats against themselves or members. Other reasons to PNG being labeled as the least resilient is the prevention and economic regulatory capacity. So let's define prevention in terms of crime. According to the United Nations Office on Crime and Drug, prevention refers to any activity by an individual or group, public or private, which attempts to eliminate crime prior to it occurring or before any additional activity results. The government of PNG does this in a hierarchy form, starting from prevention methods from the family to law enforcers to the state itself. So a few strategies at the family level are to have a dog in terms of protection, to lock your doors at night, and to build effective relationships with neighbors so you can watch over each other. The government urged to take following actions in terms of regulating police or law enforcers. One, to push the police to implement strict crime prevention measures, to boost police morale by providing better housing and other necessities, to step up police activity toward frequent, conspicuous patrols as a deterrent to crime, and lastly, to assist the unemployed. The last and final reason is the economic regulatory capacity. Due to the fact that PNG is mountainous and terraneous, the equal distribution of goods and services is low, which means that people in the most rural of areas do not have access to goods and services. And considering the majority of our population lives in rural areas, that triggers a surge in increasing crime rate. As a result, PNG is listed as the least resilient nation in Oceania, according to the Global Organized Crime Index 2021, due to the lack of effective victim and witness support systems, as well as the government's inability to prevent crime and enforce regulations while equally meeting the needs of its people. Thank you very much for your attention, everyone.
All right, thank you, Naomi and Group 3. So if you have any questions for Naomi and Janice, you can share in our forum for this week. Very interesting answer given by Naomi. Could be tied to cultural setting. We have a communal society, and everyone is connected to everyone through blood relations or blood ties. Uncle, auntie, Kandre, Susa, brother. So, if you see your Kandre doing something illegal, then why should you report your Kandre or Tambu? And if you're benefiting from it, you KK mana, whether you're benefiting from what he or she is doing. So, but that's for drug. What about, sex trafficking? If that becomes another big issue in PNG, like in Europe and China and elsewhere. So these are things that we need to think about. Okay, so thank you, our presenters, for today, and those who attended. We'll stop here and let you people go and continue the discussion in the discussion forum, and we'll meet on Friday again for the second session. And this time we will listen to presenters from groups 4, 5, 6, and 7. So as per my email this morning, our consultation period for the awareness campaign will be this Wednesday from 9 o'clock. I'll meet with group 3 and then 10:30 onwards with the other groups, whoever is ready during that period. And Friday afternoon from 2:30 to 5:30. So make sure you note it down, and if you want to see me, you can see me during those 2 days, 2 scheduled days. This afternoon, I'll try complete my marking for the discussion on climate change and try mark your final policy review as well, the second one. So hopefully by end of this week, you should know your marks out of 30 for the policy review, and then we wait for the end of this discussion on transnational crime to see your total marks out of 60%. Okay. So I hope you're checking your grade book. Check your grade book to see, and if there are any errors, let me know as soon as possible so I can rectify. Or if I gave you extra marks, let me know so I can just remove the extra marks as well. Be honest. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much, all of you, for your time and for your patience, for listening to our presenters and listening to me as well. You all have a great day, and see you again on Wednesday and Friday. Okay. Bye for now.